Top of the morning to you. My name is Ketuk. The podcast is Catch It, a New Perception. Welcome back. We are going to continue to explore the ideas that we can change how we feel by changing how we think, by changing the action we take. There are many things that may come about where this process cannot work. And if that's the case, then you reach out to a higher source. Whether that be a therapist, whether that be someone who maybe has the ability to see you differently than other people. To be able to take a deep dive into some of the things that may have impacted you when you were young. Some type of trauma may need some trauma work done, some energy work done, some psychotherapist type work. So when you need a professional, go to a professional. Between now and then, before that, after that, tune into the podcast. See what you can do in your daily life to continue to change the way you think so that you will feel emotionally exactly how you want to feel and need to feel to be able to get to know your higher self. What is it that you gravitate towards? Are you a good relative? Some of these questions are asked because what we gravitate towards is what we will become. It's who we are. Do we gravitate towards things that will get us in touch with our higher self? Do we still gravitate towards things that give us instant gratification? Gambling, sex, love outside of the relationship we have. Food. Do we intake food to a point of imbalance, or do we eat it for nutritional value? Do we eat things that aren't good for us? Is it possible that we are not always being a good relative if we reach outside of ourselves for that instant gratification? Is it possible the way that we become a good relative is by seeking long-term happiness, long-term contentment, rather than instant gratification? Seeking money, stepping on other people while doing so, does it do us any good? Or is that instant gratification? Not talking about money to get by in life with, to be able to have the essentials in life. Talking about believing that you always need more. It's like I've heard someone say who had lived with an addiction problem at one point, when someone asked them, "What was your drug of choice?" And the response was, "More. My drug of choice was more." There's not enough money for me to gamble. There's not enough drugs for me to do. Because every time I get involved with any of those types of things, I want more. So, when it comes to food, by taking refined sugar out of my life, by eating a portion rather than an American serving, which some people around the world would see an American serving portion served, would think that it is a meal for a family. I do not need an extra large portion of anything for nutritional value. And sometimes a poverty mentality will get us to believe that we need more. We need more food than what is good for our nutritional value. We need more money because we should have more than the next person, because we should be able to give more to the people we love. We need more. When it comes to getting loaded, a drink isn't enough. We need more. Because when we feel like we're not enough, of course we need more. Because whatever it is that we get, it's not enough. If I'm going to be a good relative in this lifetime, I need to realize that what I'm given in a given day by the Creator, by the resources that I walk towards, it's enough and I'm enough. I'm enough to be able to give. I'm enough to be able to give to others. The little bit I have, I should be willing to share. I don't have to hoard. I don't have to hold on to. I don't have to, with greed, think I need more. I am enough. I have enough. I am equal to anyone that has all the money in the world, anyone that has all the love in the world, anyone that gives all the love and dignity in the world, I am equal to. Do I always have that mindset? I don't. I haven't always. So in being a good relative means that I walk with a good heart. It means that I know that you're enough. You're perfect just the way you are. As flawed as what I am good enough today. And when you show me that you're flawed, then I can love you just the way you are. I can respect that. That is perfect at that moment. Perfectly flawed. Beautiful. What is beauty? Is beauty something that is physical? Or is it an essence? Is it something inside? I think that someone could be good looking. I believe that my wife is. I think she's gorgeous. I think she's physically beautiful. So often that's referred to in my mind. She's hot. She's gorgeous. She's a nice looking lady. I may say it a lot of different ways. And the majority of the time, when I speak of beauty, it's not physical. I'll see a man that's beautiful because of his essence. I have no physical attraction whatsoever to a man. So when someone is beautiful, it's the way that they come across. It's their essence. It's the action they take at that moment that's beautiful. It's what they're saying that is beautiful. You see, in being a good relative, for me, it encompasses everything globally. Because I happen to believe in Mother Earth and Grandfather Sky. My beliefs, not trying to impose them on anyone else. Take whatever your beliefs are and carry them well. With my beliefs, I look at this, and being a good relative means that I'm good to the earth. That if I ask for something, I give something. Maybe I should give before I ask. Make an offering. Be able to show up in a good way. Be prompt. Don't need to be late for anything. What happens when I show up early? Do I feel more included? Do I feel like I'm part of because I'm able to show up? Does that make me a good relative to maybe people I've never met before? So how is that a good relative if I've never met them before? I'm invited into a new circle and I show up and I kind of know a couple people, don't know a lot of them, never met most of them. And I show up early and I help, I get things together, and then other people start showing up. And then I feel connected because this group comes together as one. And I'm part of it because I got there early. Because I was talking with people. I commune with them. I help them with the things that need to be set up. Whether that's chairs and tables, making coffee, preparing food, whether that's starting the fire, keep people warm, whatever that fire may be, if it's a sacred fire, do what I can to honor it, to step back. And sometimes being a good relative may be stepping back, allowing other people to do what they do, not getting in the way of things, not forcing my will upon things, not believing that I always know best. Listen. When someone says, no, that's not how things are, can I hear them? Can I listen? Is that being a good relative at that moment? Knowing that they're right and that they corrected me? And I carry a good heart with that, and there's no animosity. And even if I don't say thank you, make sure that I carry that energy, that they know I'm grateful, that they taught me something, that they corrected me. They corrected me in a good way because they're a good relative. They didn't talk down to me, just very matter-of-factly. Or did I personalize it and think that they talked down to me because I don't like being corrected? That's not being a good relative on my part. When someone tries to help and they're not being condescending, and I feel like they're being condescending because I'm personalizing it, because I don't like to be corrected, because I think I should be right, how do I balance that? Where does the balance come in? So there's many layers for me in being a good relative. There's many things that could mean. How I show up, how I respond to others, how I participate with others. So do we gravitate towards things that inspire us that are good? When we're a good relative and we carry a good heart, yes, we do. Now, I used to gravitate towards things that aren't so healthy for me. I wasn't always a good relative, a good friend, whatever you may call it. I refer to it as a good relative today. And I would gravitate towards things that gave me instant gratification. I would gravitate towards things that would make me feel better right now, even maybe at your expense. That's not being a good relative. How I feel right now doesn't matter. If I do the right thing and I show up good, within moments, maybe minutes, maybe an hour or two, I'm going to feel really good about the action I took and not even remember how I felt at that moment going into it. because I took the right action, because I was a good relative, because I want to gravitate towards the things that inspire me, that are good, rather than gravitate towards the things that inspire me that aren't all that good. So, reaching out for instant gratification of money, sex, power, drugs, any of those things aren't really in line with who I am today. And when it comes down to it, where is there some instant gratification that is healthy? Well, meditation, yoga, music. Music creates that mantra. Good, healthy music. Whatever that means to you. Whatever gives you that message that makes you feel good at the moment. Not to escape from, just gives you a little bit of comfort at the moment. For some people, it might be church, synagogue, a temple, a sacred ceremony. Might bring some instant gratification. And attached to that, through the yoga, meditation, music, some type of spiritual gathering, may bring the instant gratification and also be attached to long-term happiness. Rather than reaching out for something outside of myself for that instant gratification that has no long-term good effect. So through the process of being able to have certain things that are healthy with maybe some instant gratification, I am being a good relative. I am inspired by things that are healthy for me. I gravitate towards things that I'm inspired by that are healthy for me. There are layers to this. When I take the steps towards being healthy, towards being a good relative, towards things that are inspiring, that are healthy, all of it comes together. All of a sudden, my subconscious is being taken care of. I'm taking action that allows me to think different, that allows me to feel different today and long term. There's a universal truth to it. There's a global truth to it. There is a self-truth to it. Can you be true to yourself? Are you true to yourself? Do you do things that allow you to be connected to others and also be true to yourself? Now, connectiveness, I'm open to finishing this podcast talking about connectiveness. I'd like to, in the future, do an episode talking about this again. And I will talk about a couple of dates in my life. One where I was connected, one where I was disconnected. On June 1st, when I was 9 years old, I moved to a new small town. Within about 6 weeks, I went to a new school. The first night that we moved into that house, the neighbor invited us over. I have a biological brother 1 year older and one 2 years older, and the three of us went over to spend time with some neighbors. One of the kids was my age. The other two may have been my siblings' ages. and their parents were there. And we had the ability to be able to get to know them. And we spent hours with them, playing, doing what we do. And I felt connected. I felt like I had made a friend. Now, decades later, I'm not really connected to them. And at that time, it was a really important friendship. They made me feel connected rather than disconnected. Have you had those impacts in your life? Now, I could talk about 2 weeks to the day after I turned 18 years old. September 28th was a Saturday that year. How I felt disconnected. I could talk about the fall of when I was 9 years old, a couple weeks before turning 10, starting school, how I felt connected. How a teacher at a new school helped me feel connected. And it took me decades to realize why I liked her so much. What was so attractive about her. I knew I always liked her. I knew that I appreciated her. I knew that she made me feel good. What I didn't know is that she made me feel connected. When I feel connected, it's easy to be a good relative. When I feel disconnected, not so easy to feel like I'm a good relative. Maybe because I'm not such a good relative at that moment. Whether that means being a good dad, now I've always been the best father I can be. Always showed up the best I can be. Even when I feel disconnected, I still do the best I can do at that moment. Being a good husband, being a good brother, being a good friend, being a good employee, being a good mentor, being good relative. All of those mean a good relative. Being a good relative to Mother Earth. Making sure I show up the best I can. That's important. So when you help other people feel connected, it may allow them to be a good relative. So if you work in the customer service industry, the guest service industry, and you make them feel connected, you may get a better response from them. When they feel disconnected, it may be difficult to be able to feel connected yourself. Can you help others feel connected so you feel connected? Can you engage with someone, anyone in your life, because being a good relative means being outside of yourself? Can you engage with them and help them feel connected so you feel more connected? I don't know. It depends upon a given day and the work that you're willing to do. How do you move forward? Do you walk with a good heart? Do you walk towards the things that will inspire you, that are healthy and allow you to feel connected? Or will you walk towards things that are not healthy for you, that give you instant gratification, no long-term gratification, allow you to feel disconnected the moment you walk away? See, the beautiful thing is, when we get connected to a group of people or an individual and we feel connected, we walk away and feel connected. If we're disconnected and we push away our energy, we don't want to offer our energy to them, we walk away and feel disconnected. Do you want to be connected to your relatives? Do you want to be connected emotionally, mentally, sometimes physically? Do you want to be connected or do you not want to be connected? You have choices in the actions that you take, in the way that you treat people, in the way that you show up. No matter how they treat you, that has nothing to do with how you treat them. If you feel like you've been disrespected and you disrespect them, maybe their actions have been justified. If you feel like you've been disrespected and you show them respect, what happens? Do you realize that they were just being abrasive because they didn't feel connected and they didn't mean to be disrespectful? I don't know. Maybe in a given day that's true. So moving forward, I'm going to do what I can to be connected to people, to feel like I'm part of, to do my very best to walk with a good heart and feel like I belong, feel like I can be part of, that I may be connected to the universe, to the earth, and the people that walk the earth. And I may be connected to the people that I love, and I feel connected to the people that love me. I will take the action towards that to the best of my ability today. And when I wake up tomorrow, I hope to do the same. Looking forward to next time. Live in harmony with and use the bounty of the land to bring kindness to the world.